Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Extreme Chase Night to you all. Welcome to the Dread Broadcasting Network as we bring you live coverage from Chicagoland Speedway. The Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series brings you the Drive for Safety 300 as Chase Race number 3. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, Dave, we do have this race here, Chase Race number 3, Chase Race 3 of 5. Before these guys crown a champion, before we crown a champion, after Chase Race 5 is over. But Dave, start off by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, as you said, we are here at Chicagoland for the Drive for Safety 300 here, taking a look at our weather conditions. We have an air temperature right about 72 degrees, track temperature of almost 97 degrees, 97 to 98 degrees. We are under partly cloudy conditions. The wind is about 7 miles from the west.
And as usual, the drivers do have 65% fuel limit. If 65% fuel limit, that is 65%. So that does mean they do have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it. But by the looks of it, 114 laps, that will be about 2 to 3 pit stops in order to be able to make it all the way. And you did mention the track temperature is 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Not the prettiest thing. There's a lot of drift weather right there. The tires will be wearing out, and these cars will be getting loose. So these guys will have to be on their toes. Very, very extra. Just a little bit of a recap from Chase Race number 2, Texas Speedway last week for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300. We did have Nate Rito bring it home, and Nate Rito is the defending champion. 83 Mike Franklin came out second. 29, Matthew Elzenbach, third. The 4 of Mike Rominger, fourth. The 5, Alan J. Elwood, fifth. The 15 of Chris Parkman, sixth. 00, Nick Hunt, seventh. 87 of David Elliott, eighth. 05, Tommy Amasi, ninth. And the 5 of Gary Woolbot did round up the top 10. And we did have a lot of battles throughout the entire field, as drivers not only battled themselves, or not only battled themselves like their opponents, but battled the track a lot, because they were getting very, very loose, and specifically the exit to turn 2 and entrance to turn number 3. And also turn 2 did claim a couple of drivers, including Jason Van Click, Richie Evans, Mason Kane, Ethan Kurtz, and a couple of more drivers. And that race did actually end a lot of drivers' nights very, very early, and made it a bad night for a lot who were racing in points, as the points were jumbled up to this point. And Matt Welzenbach did take some serious flight after contact with Tommy Elliott, but was still able to round up the podium finishers while he finished in the 3rd place position. And fuel strategy at the very end did play a key factor. Some drivers did slow down to try and save gas, while others went down pit road for some pit stops so they could be able to make it all the way. And those drivers who did pit in ended up benefiting more than the drivers who stayed out to save gas. And we had a lot of beat up cars by the end of that race. At the very end, drivers raced each other and the track, and that did affect most of the drivers in points negatively. Nate Trito did bring it home unchallenged despite some bad luck earlier in that race. Well, speaking of the standings, the drivers who are in points, we have Alan J. Elwood from 2nd place to 1st, the 4 Mike Rominger from 8th place to 2nd, the 97 of Nate Trito from 10th place to 3rd, 83 Mike Franklin from 9th to 4th, the 559 James Thorndike from 7th to 5th, the 32 Mason Kane still in 6th, the 2 of Richie Evans from 5th down to 7th, the 15 of Chris Parkman from 12th up to 8th, the 75 Rusty Farrell from 11th up to 9th, 07 of Tyler Sifford from 1st to 10th did take a heavy hit last week, the 14 of Vern Bradley from 3rd to 11th, and the 88 of John Hilston from 4th to 12th. Just like I had mentioned, last week's race was not the best for these guys out there, but they will try their best to redeem themselves tonight here at Chicagoland Speedway. But it's not, most likely won't be as pretty, or might even be worse, because the track temp is actually worse than it was last week at Texas. But this track is a little bit less complicated compared to the Texas Motor Speedway. But right now we do have these guys gridding up here, so we are going to give them a few seconds to grid up before we go down that list. We have so many fast lap times out there, as these guys were qualifying in the 30.2 second range and some in the 40-second range. Well, going over the list, we have the 42 of Jeffrey Creek on the pole. The 5 Alan J. Elwood, the new leader in points, is starting 2nd. The 76 of Cameron Hearn, 3rd. We have the 97 of Nate Trito, the defending champion himself, 4th. 00 Nick Hunt, 5th. The 49 of Nathan Shiflett, 6th. 59 James Thorndike, 7th. The 39 of Zachary Kraser, 8th. The 20 of Ethan Kurtz, 9th. The 87 of David Elliott will be starting in running up the top 10 in the 10th place position. We have the 18 of Rick Donathan will be starting 11th. 05 Tommy Amasi, 12th. The 7 of Gary Woolbot, 13th. The 64 of Michael Knight, 14th. We have the 75 of Rusty Farrell, 14th. Actually, that's 15th, sorry about that. 82 of Mike Franklin, 16th. We have the 2 of Richie Evans, 17th. The 4 of Mike Rominger, 18th. 99 Eric Kanakes, 19th. 29 Matthew Welzenbach, 20th. 06 of Rick Seabrands will be starting in that 21st place position, as we do have 21 drivers here taking the grid starting tonight's race. As these guys right now do start rolling, being led once again by the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, who does have the 76 of Cameron Hearn right behind him. On the outside is a 5 Alan J. Elwood leading the outside line in 2nd place, while the 97 of Nate Trito, the defending champion, will start in 2nd place on the outside line, behind the 5 Alan J. Elwood, but technically in that 4th place position. Well, Dave, long way to go. A lot can happen. These guys do keep that in mind. They do have. I was watching these guys under practice, and they were doing an amazing job. You know, these guys. I saw a couple of guys get loose here and there due to the slick surface out there, but it is going to be an amazing race.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. These guys have battled it out all season, so they are looking forward here. We are in the chase so here, but we see the 42 of Jeffrey Creek and the 5 of Alan Elwood, our current points leader, coming into turn number 3.
In this race right here, these guys will try to redeem themselves because, man, they took a lot of hits last week. Oh, my God. We had a driver go from 1st in points down to 10th in points this week, and that was 07 Tyler Sifford. But right now, we exit turn 4. Pace car dips off 42. Jeffrey Creek still holding pace speed. He puts it down. The 5 of Elwood does see it coming. 97 Treetalk caught sleeping. The 76 Cameron Hearn was in the draft, or did see it coming behind that 5 of Alan J. Elwood. And we are green for the first time.
Well, these guys know we have 114 laps here tonight at Chicagoland, so I don't think they're going to get too aggressive off of the start. It looks like they're just pretty content on riding. We are still being led by the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, with the 5 of Alan Elwood and Cameron Hearn rounding out your top 3.
Yeah, at the moment right now, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood does seem to be trying to get a run on the 42 of Jeffrey Creek for that race lead. That 40. Oh, he does have a big run on him entering turn number 1 and 2 here, and he will pass him. Nope, he won't. He backs it down. The caution will fly behind them. Gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved in that. Oh man, we had 18 Rick Jonathan involved, 39 Zachary Crazer sideways on the track, 59 of James Thorndike sideways on the track as well. On replay, let's go back and focus on the 59 of James Thorndike.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here, we are going to go back here and take a look, focusing on the 59. He gets a little loose. Rick Donathan in the 39 had nowhere to go. Same with the 05. Ooh, that is going to collect a lot of cars there. That's going to take a lot of cars here and make them go down pit road for some repairs.
Oh, absolutely, man. That is very, very, very unfortunate for all the drivers involved. All 5, Tommy Amasi, the 2, Richie Evans. Holy cow. We had a lot of drivers. 7, Gary Woolbot, 4, Mike Rominger, 99, Eric Kanakes, and also 29, Matt Wells and back. These guys just plowed straight through. They were on their brakes, but couldn't slow down in time to make a difference. And yeah, pit road will be busy here on lap number 3 for these guys. But right now we have some drivers going down pit road. Yes, we do. 87, David Elliott. Down pit road, 64, Michael Knight, Rusty Farrow, Matt Welsenbach, Rick Donathan, Richie Evans, and Zachary Crazer. All these guys are involved in that wreck. But going back up front, we are still being led by the 42, Jeffrey Creek. 5, Alan J. Elwood still second. The 76, Cameron Hearn still in third. The 97 Trito 4th, the 00 of Nick Hunt 5th, and the 49 of Nathan Shiflett 6th. And Dave, looking at it right now, the top 6 have not changed any positions at all.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. They're just going to stay, but we're still in the early stages. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of action here as these drivers get further along in the race.
And Dave, from experience at this track, what do you think is the best way to get around it? Basically, do you think tire conservation is very important, or it's not really a thing to worry about?
Well, Sean, I really don't have very much experience here at Chicagoland, so I honestly don't know. I'm just experiencing it for the first time like you are.
Oh, 10-4, brother. Well, yeah, as usual, we are going to be seeing a lot of drivers taking different race lines. I did notice during that little bit of a run that we had, the 20 of Ethan Kurtz, was taking different race lines, trying to save tires. Well, he was being overtaken, so he was sacrificing the speed to get those tires saved, just so he can be better off in the long run. That's what it takes. Some guys do prefer to, some guys are faster in the long run, while others are fast in the short run. But the drivers who do succeed the most when it comes to green flag runs are the guys who are fast in the long run. So all these guys do try their best to succeed. And Dave, let's focus on the 05 Tommy Amasi. He went down pit road, but that car still not looking too pretty, and he will go down pit road again, this time by heavy damage on the front end.
Yeah, he's going to come down here, let his pit crew bang on it a little bit more, try to get some of that damage straightened out, and then he's going to be right back out here. Looks like he is still back on the lead lap, so he's just trying to get whatever damage he can get repaired, just so he can get back out on the track.
Oh, yeah, and one driver ahead of him who just got his backup car out there. That's the 59 James Thorndike, brand new car. Off he goes off pit road. But the 39 Zachary Craze is still on pit road, most likely either getting towed or getting some damage fixed. 39 Zachary Craze has been on pit road for 172 seconds, so I believe he just might be getting that damage repaired, as the 05 of Amasi does roll off pit road in front of him. But going back up front, we are now back to 1 to green at this time by being led by the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, 76 Cameron Hearn right behind him, 5 Alan Jaywood leading the outside of the help of the 97 of Nate Trito. This is the same start or restart as compared to the first start that we had, as right there the pace car must go around the 05 of Tommy Amasi, but he was just able to sneak past it while getting off pit road to avoid going a lap down, so he will stay on the lead lap. As right now these guys get bunched up nice and tight, going to be going green for the second time, this time by.
Yeah, we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing here on lap 7 of 114. So we still have 109 laps to go. Looks like our top 7 here did not pit. So they're on a little bit of a different pit strategy than the rest of the field behind them. But as the pace car now brings them through turns 3 and 4 here, we are getting ready to get set back up here, go back green flag, as the pace car now brings them out of turn number 4. They're just waiting on that pace car to dip in. As that pace car makes a hard left into pit road, Jeffrey Creek hard on that throttle. He gets a good run. Alan Elwood just did not have the speed to be able to do it, but he is going to hold off second. But here comes the 76 of Cameron Hearn as he was trying to get to the inside, as Nate Trito there in the 97 Ford is going to get stuck on the outside because he has the 76 of Cameron Hearn on his inside.
At this point, 76 Cameron Hearn does have the preferred race groove. These guys most likely going wide open through these turns. So the 97 of Trito will fall back, and yes, he does lose that spot, but will have a chance to fall back in line to avoid losing even more spots. But Dave battle for the race between the 5 of Alan Elwood and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. Side by side they go through turns 1 and 2. 5 of Elwood makes the pass successfully before the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like Alan Elwood just got tired of sitting back in that second spot, but Jeffrey Creek there is just not letting him pull away here. But now Jeffrey Creek's got the 76 of Hearn and the 97 of Nate Trito, who's looking to the inside of Hearn, trying to take back that number 3 spot.
Yep, Cameron Hearn right there does lose that spot to the 97 of Nate Trito and will just fall back in line. As that 97 of Trito does fall a little bit short on the exit of turn 2. The 76 of Cameron Hearn charged on his rear view mirror on his back bumper, but does back it down, no pressure applied. And further back behind them, 49 Nathan Shiflett, 00 Nick Hunt battling side by side for the 5th place spot. 00 Nick Hunt, bigger run on the exit of turn number 4. 49 Shiflett will fall short and will lose a spot.
Yeah, it looks like Nathan Shiflett is not going to get the run into the turn. Nick Hunt is going to hold on to that spot, as Shiflett seems to have slowed down there a little bit more on the exit, but it looks like Nick Hunt is doing a good job at running that outside lane.
And there we have some more battles for the back in the pack. 75 Rusty Farrer being overtaken as we speak by the 82 of Mike Franklin and the 2 of Richie Evans, as he just lost 2 spots right there. And that will bump him down into that 10th place position, actually the 11th place position, just out of the top 10. And going for the backup from the 18 of Rick Dunn. And the 20, Ethan Kurtz gets loose, goes sideways off the turn 2. There he goes spinning off the track. The caution will fly. A caution will fly, no harm done. Let's focus on the 20 of Ethan Kurtz on replay.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here, we are going to go back, take a look at the 20 of Ethan Kurtz. Looks like he just got a little loose coming out of turn number 2. Got down into that grass a little bit, was able to keep it on the lower track, didn't make any contact, and everybody was able to get around him safely.
Oh yeah, great driving on his part. No harm done to his machine, but that will shuffle him further back into the field here. And man, Dave, I'm looking at it right now. His back end just snapped around, kind of like the same thing that was happening on the entrance to turn number 3 at Texas last week for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300. That's exactly what happened to Ethan Kurtz. Just snapped around. He couldn't control it. And that did bring out the caution, but fortunately enough, nobody else was involved. But going back up front, we are being led by the 5 Alan J. Elwood, who does lead the whole entire field down pit road. Do we have anybody staying out behind the pace car? Nope, does not look like it. Actually, yes, we do have one. That is going to be the 64 of Michael Knight. And Michael Knight does get that wave around the pace car here. We'll be back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down. Great driving on his part. We have one driver behind the pacer. It's the 49 of Nathan Schiffler taking over the race lead here on lap 13. And Dave, at a track like this, Nathan is the only driver who stays out. So he has 13 laps on his tires. Everybody else will have way less than that. So I guess I'll have 12 laps less. So if Nathan does stay out, he will most likely become a sitting duck if it goes green or when it goes green. So he most likely is just staying out there to lead a lap, and we'll be going down pit road here shortly.
Well, we are in the chase, Sean, and all these points matter. So getting that extra bonus point for leading a lap is definitely key here as we are winding down the season here with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series.
Oh yeah, speaking of Nathan Schiffler, he does take it down to pit road, and that does give the race lead back to the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. Actually, scratch that. Looks like we have position changes. 00 Nick Hunt takes over, leading his first lap of the 90 on lap number 14. And the 42 Jeffrey Creek beats the 5 Alan Elwood off pit road. 76 Cameron Hunt as well beats the 5 Alan Elwood off pit road. So it's definitely some great driving on these guys' parts to outpit the 5 of Elwood, our new points leader at the moment. So our top 5 as it stands, we have Nick Hunt, Jeffrey Creek, Cameron Hearn, Alan Elwood, and Nate Trito. And Dave, at this point, our biggest mover this far is a 29 of Matthew Ozenbach, starting 20th and already in 7th.
Yeah, Mr. Super Speedway himself has definitely moved up into the top 10 as he is riding right there behind the 18 of Rick Donathan, who has gained 5 positions from starting 11th, is now running in the 6th spot. You got Nate Trito running back and forth. Alan Elwood went from the lead back to 4th. You got Cameron Hearn and Jeffrey Creek, and then, of course, our leader, the 00 Nick Hunt.
And some drivers we're going to be keeping an eye on all night tonight. The 59, James Thorndike being one of those drivers. And also that 4, Mike Rominger, 82, Mike Franklin. These guys will be up there in no time as a 29, Matt Welsenbach goes down pit road this time by most likely a strategy to go further back in the pack, because he did pit in at the exact same time as everybody else, which was 2 laps ago. So that's a strategy for him to go further back in the pack. And Dave, that usually is a good strategy to try and avoid getting involved in incidents that happen up front, so you can have enough time to react if anything were to happen. But if it does go green, it's not pretty.
Sean, we were talking about the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach. It looks like he has came down pit road, so he is going to drop all the way back into the, looks currently being shown in the 18th position.
And right now we are now back 1 to green. The restart, the lineup changes here in the top 4 and the top 5, as we have the 00 Nick Hunt with the 76 Cameron Hearn right behind him, the 42 Jeffrey Creek starting on the outside for a change, with the 5 of Alan Elwood right on his rear end, as we are going to be going green this time by these guys getting bunched up nice and tight. These guys all have the same amount number of laps on their tires. So the competition is going to be very, very stiff as the drivers do try to make the best use of their tires, to try and make as many spots as possible, take as many spots away as possible as they can before those puppies wear. As right now the pace car does dip off 00 Nick Hunt, still holding pace speed. He puts the hammer down to the floor. The 42 Jeffrey Creek sees it coming, but not quite. 76 Cameron Hearn trying to overtake the 5 Alan J. Elwood on the restart, but so far no luck. He does have the preferred race entry, entering turns number 1 and 2. He does get both the inside of the 5 of Elwood and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, and most likely will get around the 42 of Creek, exiting turn number 2 here. Actually, turn number 4, because he does have a preferred entry and exit to the turn, and we'll go from 4th place to 2nd place in 1 lap. 3 wide, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood takes it through at 42 in the middle. Jeffrey Creek, they do go back double file. The 5 Alan Elwood gets around both the 42 and the 76 of Cameron Hearn, goes from 4th place to 2nd place right there.
Yeah, it looks like he is running that outside line really well. As Nate Trito is down into the inside there of Jeffrey Creek, as they are battling it out here on the backstretch coming in. It does look like the 42 of Jeffrey Creek is going to have the advantage here, as they are now back to single file.
And look at that, Dave. We do have a lead change here. Another lead change on lap 17. Crosses third finish line for lap 18. The 5 Alan J. Elwood does take it away from the 00 of Nick Hunt. I should say he does take it back from the 00 of Nick Hunt, because he was leading. When that caution came out, and Dave, I should say, it was a very, very impressive move by the 5 of Elwood to make a pass on the outside line, because, man, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, most definitely, Sean. These guys are they're putting on a heck of a battle here. Going a little back, looking at the 2 of Richie Evans. We saw him involved in the first incident there, brought out the first caution, but he has worked his way all the way back up into 8th position. And right behind him is the 4 of Mike Rominger, also involved in an incident, but now running back inside the top 10.
It's very good to see these guys. Oh, Dave, the 18 Rick Jonathan gets loose on the exit of turn number 2. Holy cow, nice save. He keeps it going, but loses a little bit of speed because we're losing some time, a lot of time, to the 82 of Mike Franklin. At the same time, pulling in the 2 of Richie Evans. But right now, Rick getting up to speed, trying to back it up and do it again. Well, do it again. By do it again, I mean he is trying to make up as much time as possible, all the lost time, and catch up to the drivers up front, because he was catching them before he got loose. As right now, you do see him battling that wheel to try and keep it from spinning. And Dave, while we're at it, let's actually ride on the in car of Rick Jonathan. That is going to give us an idea of exactly what's going on out there, what these guys are going through out there, trying to keep these things straight. As you could see right there through turns number 3 and 4, he did decide to stay in that middle lane, because that bottom lane most likely is very, very loose. Let's see what happens here entering turns 1 and 2. He stays high, he gets loose, goes sideways, still hangs on to it. No harm down the exit of turn 2. He does power off to try and counter it, or to try and avoid spinning it, to regain control, and he does so successfully. And Dave going for the back up front. We have a battle between the 00 Nick Hunt and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. That is a battle for the 3rd place position. 42 Creek gets around the 00 of Nick Hunt. Nope, Nick Hunt, big run, entering turn number 2 here, and will challenge the 42 of Creek. That must make contact. 42 Creek backs it down to avoid getting into him. 97 Trichel will come to assistance of the 42 of Creek to push him past the 00 of Nick Hunt. Double zero Nick Hunt not giving up. 42 Jeffrey Creek not giving up either. 97 Nate Trito trying to benefit from both lanes, from both drivers, trying to just pretty much follow the fastest line around the track. And here entering turns number 1 and 2, 42 of Creek does lead a big nose. He will clear the 00 Nick Hunt on the exit of turn 2, leaving the 97 Trito to be on the inside of 00 Nick Hunt, who then clears successfully. And that does bump 97 of Trito back to be behind the 00 of Hunt.
Well, I'll tell you, 2 people that are happy to see this battle is the 76 of Hearn and the 5 of Elwood, as they are starting to pull up to a pretty gap here, as they are well over a second ahead of that 3rd place battle.
Oh yeah, and Dave, the 2 drivers you mentioned, 76 Cameron Hearn, 5 Alan Elwood, these drivers starting to catch up the back of the field. Well, slower car out there. Looks like it's the 05 Tommy Master driver, who does have some heavy damage on that machine. But he is still going nice and strong. He will stay high to let them go. Looks like he is pushing max speed of about 165 miles an hour. which is about, I should say, 10 to 15 miles an hour slower than everybody else's max speed out there. So it's quite a disadvantage, but it's still going strong.
Yeah, as we noticed all season long, these guys just don't give up. They get a little damage, but they stay out and try their best. But he definitely did the right thing there, holding the high line, letting these leaders go by, as it looks like Jeffrey Creek and Nick Hunt and all them are going to be able to get around him cleanly, as the 42 of Jeffrey Creek is actually pulled out to a gap over the 00 of Nick Hunt and the 97 of Nate Trito.
And that's 76 Cameron Hearn right now on the inside of the 5 of Alan Elwood, who then powers off turn 2 and still maintains that lead and clears the 76 of Cameron Hearn, and they will stay nose to tail once again. Entering turns number 3 and 4, that 5 Alan Elwood right in the middle to high line. He did get a little bit loose. 76 Cameron Hearn gains a run because of it and gets very close to his back bumper. Oh, Dave, he is pulling him in. Well, let's ride on the in car of 76 of Cameron Hearn just so we can watch him work. Oh, Cameron, he goes sideways. He does hang on to it, loses a lot of time to the 5 Elwood. 42 Jeffrey Creek gets around him as though he is sitting still, and behind him the 00 Nick Hunt and the 97 Trito are catching as well. Oh my God, Dave, everywhere. Look, I'm seeing loose cars. 00 Nick Hunt was loose as well. The caution does fly. We are gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved. Oh, the 75 Rusty Farrow, heavy smoke on that machine. 20 Ethan Kurtz, heavy damage on that machine as well. Let's focus on the 20 of Ethan Kurtz on replay.
Well, as we go back to our replay here, we are going to go back here, take a look, see if we can't find exactly what happened here. As we are following the 20 of Ethan Kurtz, you have the 06 of Rick Seabrands right behind him. Looks like Ethan gets a little bent out of shape out of the turn, hits the outside wall, bounces off, and collects some. Oh, it just looks like that car broke loose on the exit of the turn.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Very unfortunate indeed. And man, 75 Rusty Farrow had nowhere to go. He was carrying a lot of speed. He tried slowing down, but there was no luck. It wasn't happening due to that very, very big speed difference. And unfortunately, he is... Well, actually, he's down pit road right now. Got that backup truck, and we'll start rolling here shortly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our first commercial break of the night here on lap number 29, so you guys can get some more refreshments and some more popcorn. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series as they bring you the Drive for Safety 300 for Chase Race number 3. And once again, I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, being joined by our producer and my good friend, Dave Everly. But going back to tonight's race, we do have the 42 of Jeffrey Creek being shown in the lead, 5 Elwood in second place, 00 Nick Hunt third, 76 Cameron Hearn fourth, 82 of Mike Franklin fifth. And Dave, the 39 Zachary Crazer, is now back out on the track. Last time we had checked, he was on pit road getting some damage fixed, was 10 laps down because of it, but is now back to 9 laps down, and he's behind the pace car, so he will be getting one more lap back to go back to 8 laps down. But he does have a brand new car, so he will stay competitive. And with that said, the field is not safe because he will do some serious damage to that field once he gets all those laps back and fighting for that lead, because he is a very amazing driver. He gets to wave around the pace car, and so does the 64 of Michael Knight right behind him and back in the lead. 42 Jeffrey Creek, 5 Alan Elwood starting on the outside. 00 Nick Hunt will be starting on the bottom lane behind the 42 Jeffrey Creek, who then switches lanes. So the 5 Elwood starts on the inside, 00 Nick Hunt on the bottom lane behind him. The 42 Jeffrey Creek leads the outside with the help of the 76 of Cameron Hearn, and we are back to 1 to green. Yeah, these guys out there very struggling out there, battling the track, trying their best to keep it together and trying to not lose any positions at all. It is very, very difficult to do, as you know, they're doing the best they can. It's a very, very slick track out there, 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Not really the prettiest weather for speed and competition. But these guys are still doing an amazing job, as right now they do enter turns 3 and 4, going green this time.
Yeah, pace car brings them out of 4s. These guys are bunched up, ready to go back green flag racing. Pace car makes that hard left. Looks like off goes Jeffrey Creek on that outside, but man, Alan Elwood got a good jump on that inside, as he is just going to edge him just by a nose at the start-finish line, as he has got the preferred line here coming into turn 1. He is going to pull out to a little bit of a gap, and it looks like Jeffrey Creek is just going to fall in right behind him.
Oh man, the 5 Elwood did definitely read the mind of the 42 of Jeffrey Creek on that restart. And right behind these two drivers, 76 Cameron Hearn being challenged by the 97 of Nate Trito, who will make the pass on the outside against 76 of Cameron Hearn and will gain that spot to take it away from the 76 of Hearn and bump him down into the 4th place spot and himself up into that top 3 position. And right behind them we have 00 Nick Hunt, while behind them 82 Mike Franklin, 18 Rick Duncan battling side by side with 6th place position. Oh, Rick gets sideways in the exit of turn 2. It does hang on to it, and that does allow the 4 of Mike to get around him, and the 82 of Franz pull away at the same time. Opens the door for 49 of Nathan Shiflett to look to his inside, but they do stay nose to tail. And going back up front, 97 of Nate Trito right now charging on the back bumper of the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, making his presence known. 42 Creek most likely feeling the pressure, just like the 97 of Trito is feeling the pressure from the 76 of Cameron Hearn in his rear view. But right now the 5 Alan Elwood just pretty much having a Sunday drive, trying his best to increase the gap in between him and everybody else behind him, and it does seem to be working.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a wiggle there by the 97 of Nate Trito. That is going to let the 76 of Cameron Hearn get to the inside and get around him. But here comes the 00 of Nick Hunt. He is wanting to put his nose into this fight.
Yep, Nick Hunt right now trying to use a draft of the 97 of Nate Trito, who in turn is drafting the crap out of the 76 of Cameron Hearn to try and pull him in. So it is a pull-in chain effect throughout the whole entire single-file field here in the top 7, top 8. As right now the 42 of Jeffrey Creek does start pulling in the 5 of Alan J. Elwood with the use of that bottom lane and the use of the draft at the same time. Oh, 97 Nate Trito gets sideways. Have to even go sideways on exit of 2. He got sideways again, wiggles left and right, saves it, but loses a lot of speed because of it. And that does have, he does have a roaring engine right behind. It's a 00 of Nick Hunt. Oh my god, in the past 2 laps we've seen, I believe, 2 to 3 cars get loose. Rick Jonathan being one of them and 97 Trito being one of them, getting loose twice. as these guys heard battling, trying their hardest to beat that field, which is trying to beat the track, which is trying to take them out of the race. But this race right here is they're trying to redeem themselves, because last week they didn't have quite the race they had hoped for, and it did really affect their points. Looking for the back in the pack, the 18 of Rick Duncan charging against the 49 of Nathan Shiplet, who then goes down to use the drop of the 4 of Mike Romming on that apron. He gets back up onto the track. The 18 of Duncan still charging, and will try and pull him in throughout the turn. Oh, Rick Duncan goes sideways once again. He does go sideways off the track, off turn 2. He keeps it in the grass, keeps it on the apron, gets back out there when he is clear. Holy cow, Dave.
Yeah, it's some great willing and dealing there by the 18 of Rick Donovan to keep control of that car. He is going to lose some positions, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yep, and the caution will fly, and we are going to go back and take a look at who might have been involved in that. Oh, the 05 Tommy Amasi trouble on the track. Looks like that was pretty much it. Let's go focus on the 05 Tommy Amasi on replay.
Well, as we pull up our replay here, focusing on the 05 of Tommy Amasi. Looks like just coming into the turn, it just broke loose, running that high lane. He had nowhere to go but down on that apron, and that is going to bring out another caution.
Oh, and Dave, the 05 of Amasi was actually riding that high line. You'd have thought maybe he would have made it stick, and, you know, the outside line is a little bit slower, and it usually does have... you do save tires because of it, but man, he did get us on the outside, so he does tell you there's not a really safe place on this track to race on. But the middle has seemed to be working out for most of the drivers out there. But yeah, that was a nice save by the 05 Tommy Amasi, being able to keep from making contact with anything out there. But going back up front, being led by the 59 of James Thorndike, who does take over the race lead by staying out, while everybody else did go down pit road for some service, except for the 59 of James Thorndike and the 05 Tommy Amasi. Actually, we have 2 more drivers behind them. We have Rusty Farrow and Zachary Kraser as well. Well, that does give us some time for a race interview. Let's focus on the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 42 here of Jeffrey Creek up here with us. Get a cup there, Jeff.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
And imagine, how are you?
Pretty good. Car's loose.
Oh, 10-4. Yeah, we've noticed you guys wheeling the crap out of those machines out there, especially on the exit of turn 2 and the entrance to turn number 3. How's the race going so far, buddy?
It's going good. Car's a little loose. I was hoping for a little less cautions, but I mean, it's kind of to be expected. New build, new tire model. So other than that, it's good. We're just trying to keep teammate Elwood up front, and he's running the chase points. So.
Oh, 10-4, Jeff. And yeah, I was about to ask you about that, because, you know, you and Alan Elwood were exchanging the lead left and right, just pretty much battling each other. But that now does explain a lot. But what do you think is the best strategy against the whole entire field out there, or the track? Because the track is very loose. So what do you think is the best strategy to avoid being a victim?
Honestly, just racing the track, not the people, because it's so like unpredictably loose that it just snaps around on you. So we're just literally just cruising, letting off early, letting it roll, and we pull away if we just stay in line. So we're really just racing the track.
Oh, copy that, Jeffrey. That does sound like a good plan indeed. Well, Jeffrey, we are going to let you back the driver's seat here. You are currently in the lead of qualifying on the pole with a second place qualifying time. Second place practice time. So good luck to you, buddy, and we do wish you the best of luck and your teammate out there. And good luck once again.
All right, thanks.
Looks like these guys are coming here out of floor. Hopefully the pace car will be shutting its lights off, and we will be getting ready to go back double file green flag racing here at Chicagoland Speedway for the Drive for Safety 300, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99.com.
Yep, and indeed the lights on the pace car do shut off. 42 Jeffrey Creek starts on the outside once again with 5 Alan J. Elwood, his teammate, who is in the chase. and took over the season standings lead as of last week after being in second last week, and is now in first this week. They will be starting side by side, controlling both lanes. The 97 A3 starting behind the 5 of Elwood with the 76 of Cameron Hearn, right behind the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. And Dave, Jeffrey did say it, he will be battling the track out there and not his opponents, just pretty much focusing on trying not to spin out and not to be a victim.
Yeah, and look here, Sean, we got a new guy to the top 5. The 82 of Mike Franklin has cracked the top 5 here tonight. So he is looking to stick his hand into this mix as well.
Oh yeah, he wants a piece of this. He wants a piece of what's cooking, or he can smell what's cooking, what's brewing up front, as the drivers have been battling all race long. Yeah, he has made his way up to the front, so like I had predicted. And this is not the last we're going to be seeing of him, as right now they do exit turns number 3 and 4. Going green this time, the pace car goes off. They're still holding pace before the 2 of Creek. Alan Elwood both put it down to floor. 76 Cameron Hearn, Nate Rito, both see it coming. 42 Jeffrey Creek goes way wide high on the track. He is setting up for turn number 1. He's trying to get ahead of 5 Alan J. Elwood, but doesn't have enough to do so, and will still stay high, allowing the door, or leaving the door open for the 97 Frito and the 5 of Elwood to take it away. But right now the 97 Frito trying to take it over for 42 of Jeffrey Creek, who stays high with the driver as his teammate, the 5 of Elwood. 97 Frito makes the pass successfully against the 42 of Jeffrey Creek, who goes from first place to third place here in 1 lap. But he's not in the clear quite yet, because the 76 Cameron Hearn is breathing down his neck. And for the back behind them, we do have the 4 of Mike Rominger making moves against the 82 of Mike Franklin. Almost scrapes that wall, trying to side draft the wall to get some extra speed here throughout the backstretch. As right now the 4 of Mike Rominger gets loose on the entrance, he turns number 3 and 4, and that does allow the 00 of Nick Hunt to close that gap. And also further back in the pack, the 18 of Rick Donovan, Mr. Loose Man himself. He is dirt wheeling that car out there, trying his best to not be a victim, and he has not been a victim just yet, because he has saved it every single time. As right now he does challenge the 2 of Richie Evans, who does stay high to let him by.
Yes, he gets to the back bumper there, the 49 and Nathan Shiflett, as he is trying to get to his inside there to try to get another position.
As you see it right now, he's just pretty much trying to think of a strategy to set these guys up to get around the 49. Shiflett gets loose ahead of him. He goes sideways. The 18 Rick Donovan has nowhere to go. Gets into the back of him. That will cause the 49 Shiflett to spin off the track, and the caution will fly. Oh man, looks like nobody else was involved in that. Let's go back and take a look at that and focus on the 49 of Nathan Shiflett.
Well, as we pull up our direct broadcast replay, we are going to focus on the 49 and Nathan Shiflett. As we pull up the replay here, as you see, he just gets a little loose. The 18 of Rick Donovan had nowhere to go, gave him a little tap, but he is able to get it stopped in the grass before making contact with the wall. So good job at keeping it out of the wall and keeping the car pretty clean.
Oh, absolutely great job indeed. So he will still be able to stay competitive after that little laptop he was given in that rear end. It's got a little bit of a dent, but it won't affect anything. He will still be able to stay competitive and go nice and strong. But going back up front, we are being led by the 5 of Alan Elwood, 97 A3 behind him, the 42 Jeffrey Creek 3rd, 76 Cameron Hearn 4th, 82 of Mike Franklin 5th, and the 5 of Elwood will lead them down to pit road, and we most likely might have some drivers deciding to stay out to get the lucky dog. Yep, the majority of the field has pitted in, but we do have some drivers electing to stay out. And let's see who is involved, or who is part of the drivers staying out. Let's see, 75 Rusty Farrow stays out, gets that waiver on back on the lead lap here. We have a 29 Matthew Wilson back staying out, most likely just to lead a lap because he is still on the lead lap. The 39 of Zachary Crazy stays out as well, being shown 8 laps down, as he did get a waiver on the last caution from 9 laps down to 8 laps down. And by the looks of it, he just might be getting another waiver round to go back down to 7 laps down. So he will be getting his laps back here in no time. And that does give us some time to get another race interview in. Let's focus on the 18 of Rick Donathan. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 18 of Rick Donathan up here, Mr. Dirt Track himself tonight. Get a cup there, Rick.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
A little bit under pressure tonight. I believe we all are.
Oh, I can only imagine, Rick. And yeah, Rick, we've seen you struggle out there, trying your best to keep it straight and not let yourself be a victim of the track taking you out. And so far, you've been doing an amazing job. How's your race going so far, buddy?
It's pretty tough, Sean. The iRacing came out with a new update, and for the viewers out there that's watching, the car is completely opposite of what we're all used to out here. It's very, very loose. We're actually doing some pit road strategy here, trying to get some things to kind of line up to drive a little bit better in the corners. I think we're on to something. We'll have to wait and see, but it's a very different race car for us all tonight.
Oh, copy that, Rick. We are very, very sorry to hear about that. And yeah, that does explain a lot. You guys are very, very loose out there, but you are still doing an amazing job keeping it straight. And Rick, I've actually noticed that you've been using different race lines out there and using that middle lane in between turns number 1 and 2. Is that helping at all?
Well, that goes back to pit strategy, what we're doing with tires, just trying to see where things are working for us. There's been a couple times where I've had to choose a different line just because I just want to give the cars around me as much room as I can. But right now, it's just, all I can say is it's loose is what we're dealing with.
Oh, copy that, Rick. Well, Rick, you're still doing an amazing job out there regardless, and man, you're an amazing driver. You have been throughout the whole entire season, so no doubt you will end up having this thing down before this thing is over. But Rick, you guys are now back to 1 green, so we are going to let you back to the driver's seat so you can do some more dirt tracking and figure out the track. So good luck to you, buddy. Make us proud.
All right, well, I appreciate it, guys, and thanks to the viewers out there for tuning in and watching with us here tonight. Thank you for your support.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was the 18 of Rick Donathan, who is currently rounding up the top 10. And he's one of the drivers out there who's having some trouble with the track, as it is very, very loose. Like he had said, the car is very loose. It's looser than they're used to, which makes it very, very difficult to drive and to handle. As right now, we are now back to 1 green. We have the 97 A3 on the inside with the 42 Jeffrey Creek right behind him. 5 Alan J. Elwood on the outside with the 59 of James Thorndike. Will be assisting him here on this restart, as these guys do enter turns number 3 and 4, going green this time by.
Yeah, most definitely. We also got the 59 there of Thorndike. He has moved up into the 4th position as the pace car now brings him here out of turn number 4. The pace car makes that hard left into pit road. Nate Trito does not waste any time. He gets on that throttle, gets a little gap between him and the 5 of Elwood. Meanwhile, the 59 of Thorndike is battling it out with the 42 of Creek as they come into turn number 1.
And James Thorndike will fall short. He will go from about 3rd place to 6th place. Nope, maybe 7th. Because that 00 Nick Hunt will be on his inside line. So 00 Nick Hunt, 76 Cameron Hearn, Mike Franklin, Jeffrey Creek, all these guys do get around 59 of James Thorndike. And by the looks of it, just might have been a strategy for him to go for the back in the field. As right now he does get back up to speed and will be challenging the 00 of Nick Hunt. But ahead of it, oh, we have one driver getting loose once again, sideways, entering turns 1 and 2. That was the 4 of Mike Romeo. That does stack up the field behind him, but no harm done. Everybody else gets around him successfully, and that will avoid or not cause any incidents. Holy cow.
I tell you what, these guys are doing a good job when that car breaks crazy loose and comes around. These drivers are wheeling it and able to keep it going straight and keep it under green flag conditions, as we are now 60 laps to go here at Chicagoland.
And Dave, by the sounds of it there, what Rick was saying, it looks like no tires is going to even help these guys out there. They're going to be loose regardless whether or not they take tires or whether or not they stay on all the tires. It's still going to be very, very loose. So right now, Dave, the biggest worry out there is just staying alive.
Yeah, most definitely, but they are doing an awesome job here. Going back up front, it looks like there's going to be a little battle here. It looks like Eric Knakes is going to get around the 20 of Hunt there and take that position away. As these guys are now, looks like Ethan Hunt or Kurtz there is going to be battling the 06 of Rick Sebrands for that 12th position.
Yep, the 06 of Sebrands does back it down behind the 99. Eric Knakes, nope, he makes it stick. Will try and go through the middle, but he most likely will successfully clear the 20 of Ethan Kurtz, but Ethan Kurtz does have that apron. He does have the shortest way around the track and still stays side by side with him and goes back side by side on the inside here, entering turn 1, while the 06 of Sebrands will power off turn 2 and clear the 20 of Kurtz.
Looks like Kurtz wanted to get up behind him, but the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach stuck his nose in there, kept him down on that inside lane there. As they are still riding. Looks like the line to be, really, Sean, is going to be that outside lane.
Oh, yeah, we did see one driver get loose on the outside early on in the race. That was the 05 Tommy Amasi, but ever since then, we haven't seen any other driver get loose. So maybe, Dave, yeah, these guys might have, put some rubber out there, and it does have a little bit more grip so the guys can handle it now. So the outside line just might be the place to be. And the good thing about the outside line, they will save tires in the process. But looking at that, the 20 of Ethan Kurtz right now taking up as many spots as he can, or taking away as many spots as he can, gets from the 06 of Sebrands, and now challenging the 99 of Eric Knakes. And he does gain 2 spots right there and bumps himself up into 11th place, just outside the top 10. He is hungry for that top 10, or to be back in the top 10 after qualifying in that 9th place position. And behind him, the 4 of Mike Rominger trying to take away as many spots as possible, make up as much time as he can. But he did make a mistake early on. Well, he did make a mistake, but his car did get loose, and he did lose a lot of spots because of it. As right now, he does get around the 06 of Sebrands, get around the 29. It wasn't about 06 Sebrands, gets hard into the wall of the exit of turn 2. Right side damage that machine, but no harm done.
Well, Sean, going back up to the front, it looks like the 5 of Elwood is going to take over the race lead. As the 97 of Nate Trito went from 1st to 3rd. The 42 of Jeffrey Creek back in 2nd position. And then right behind Nate Trito, you have the 76 of Cameron Hearn.
Yep, and that 97 on Nate Trito just seems to have sustained some right side damage, Dave, right front damage specifically. So by looks of it, he did most likely smack that wall, and also the left rear of it is curved in or dented. So he did get a love tap from somebody out there, but he's still going strong. That is not affecting him at all by the looks of it.
Now, we still got 55 laps to go here. We are beyond the halfway point. So he knows he's still got a long race here, as he is wanting to keep battling here. But the 76 of Cameron Hearn is slowly starting to reel him in.
Yep, Cameron Hearn is letting him know, if you make a mistake, I will not hesitate. Cameron Hearn gets loose sideways here, entering turns number 1 and 2, but he does keep it straight and still maintains his run over the 97 of Nate Trito, who will stay high and not put up a fight, and lets him go here, entering turn 3. He does claim success with 76. Cameron Hearn still getting loose here and there, but will power off to the wall to try and have less wheel input in the car. And Dave, that's one thing I've noticed, is that the more input you have, the more input you add into the steering wheel, the more likely you are to get loose. As right now, you do see that 76 of Cameron Hearn going way wide to try and have less inputs. He did get loose there, and at the same time, the 42 of Jeffrey Creek got loose in front of him in the same turn.
Well, with Jeffrey getting loose there, that's going to let the 76 of Cameron Hearn close on him in a hurry, as Hearn gets right on his back bumper.
Yep, and one driver who's smiling right now is the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. Well, he might not be smiling because the 42, Jeffrey Creek, his teammate, did lose some time. 76, Cameron Hearn goes sideways once again, keeps it straight, no harm done, and maintains the gap in between him and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. And just like I was saying, the 5 Elwood most likely is not happy about the 42 of Jeffrey Creek kind of losing out of his draft there, because they are both teammates. But that 76 of Cameron Hearn just having the same amount of trouble as the 42 of Jeffrey Creek is having, just the same trouble as everybody else behind them is having, of them getting loose. And Dave will have one driver going down pit road. It's the 18 of Rick Donathan.
Yeah, he's got some heavy damage on that right side, but he goes down into pit road. Looks like the right side is going up. He is going to take 4 tires here and a full tank of fuel.
Yep, and looking at that car, Dave, like you said, he has some heavy damage on it, and something tells me that is not a scheduled pit stop, and by the looks of it, he will retire. He gets out of the car, and just gonna go out and rest there, because that car is not in the best shape. But right now, his pit crew is at work, trying to beat it out, so he can be out there in no time. But going back up front, David 42, Jeffrey Creek was able to close a little bit of a gap in between him and the leader, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood. But that gap does now continue to stay consistent here, or constant. It is not changing, so they're running the exact same pace.
Yeah, most definitely here. We are now 49 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Looks like these guys are running right about 18 laps on their tires since their last pit. I'm not sure of the pit window, Sean, but hey, we might be able to see some green flag pit stops tonight.
Oh, absolutely, David. It is definitely possible. And this, once again, the drivers do have a 65% fuel limit. That is 65%. So I believe, in calculations, that just might be ranging from 25 to 30 laps. Well, the safest to say would be 20 to 30 laps would be that pit window. As you know, these guys do have different strategies. Some drivers will end up running the tank dry, while others will pit in as soon as they can to try and being less loose. They'll be loose regardless, but they will be worse. It will be more loose the older tires, the older the tires do get. So these guys will try their best to try and go down pit road as soon as that pit window opens, just so they can be able to stay competitive. Looking for the back in the pack, 64 Michael Knight right behind that 75 of Rusty Farrell, and that was for position as the 75 of Farrell got around the 64 Michael Knight and bumped himself up into that 15th place spot. And at this point, we have 18 drivers on the lead lap of the 21 drivers that started tonight's race, and unfortunately, we have one driver already retiring for the night, and that was the 49 of Nathan Shiflett.
Yeah, it's highly unfortunate. A great driver there, but we still got a lot of great drivers out on the track. Taking a look at the 87 of David Elliott, currently running in 11th position, as you see him right behind the 99 there of Eric Kanakes. They are just kind of riding here back in these back positions, but it looks like the 87 of David Elliott wants to get up inside the top 10.
Oh yeah, right now that 99 Eric Kanakes is as well struggling to keep that thing straight. It is very, very loose, and because of it, he does let the 87 of David Elliott go. He won't force any issues. He won't push the matter to try and maintain that spot. He'll just give it away and try and focus right now on staying alive, because he does know that with green flag pit stops are about to start kicking in. As right now these drivers now have about 22 laps on their tires, so 22 laps from the last time they had pitted in. So here in about 3 to 8 laps, we most likely will see some green flag pit stops starting. And we have that 20 of Ethan Kurtz, who was off the pace there. He was on the apron here exiting turn 2. So it looks like he did get a little bit loose that last lap, because by the looks of it, he didn't go down pit road. Oh, Ethan Kurtz goes hard into the wall. He overcorrected. Will spin out on the exit of turn number 2. Oh man, everybody will get around him successfully. But holy cow, that car is beat. Let's go back on replay and focus on the 20 of Ethan Kurtz.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay, as you said, we saw the 20 of Ethan Kurtz there. We are going to focus on him and kind of rewind this back a little bit. As he got a little loose there coming out of turn number 2. Tagged that wall, overcorrected, and spun around, but he got that car off of the track, and everybody else is able to get around him cleanly. We are now 43 laps to go.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Ethan Kurtz there, and that will be his second second wreck that he's involved in for tonight's race. Very unfortunate for him. Looks like he might have used his backup car that first incident that he was in. But that car's not looking too bad, so he might just be able to go down here and get some damage fixed, just so he can stay out there and still be able to advance his spot and still stay competitive. And ladies and gentlemen, in that case, we are going to take a second commercial break of tonight, so you guys can get some more refreshments and some more popcorns. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series, as it brings you the Drive for Safety 300 for chase race number 3 here at Chicagoland Speedway. And once again, I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, being joined by our producer, my good friend Dave Everly. But going back to tonight's race, we are now back 1 to green, as everybody else at this point has gone down pit road. So these guys do have less than 5 laps on their tires, being led by the 00 Nick Hunt. Starting to his outside, the 5 of Alan J. Elwood, the 97 of Nate Trito starting second on the bottom lane behind the 00 of Nick Hunt, and the 42 of Jeffrey Creek will start second place on the outside line. Well, we are going green this time by, as these guys just pitted in, so they will have an easier time with those newer tires. But let's do it.
As the pace car brings them here through turn 3 into turn 4, these guys are bunched up nice and tight, ready to go back green flag racing. We will have 39 laps to go. We will have to see at least, hope maybe one more pit stop tonight as the pace car dips down into pit road. Looks like the 00 Nick Hunt jumps on the throttle. Nate Trito saw it coming, as it looks like Elwood slept a little bit. Trito is going to be to the inside of Elwood here into turn number 1.
Yeah, that 97 Trito does finally clear and successfully clears the 5 of Alan Elwood here, entering turns number 1 and 2, and that 97 Trito now looks to the inside of the leader, the 00 of Nick Hunt. But of the race, do they make contact here on that back stretch? No harm done. Robbins Racing, 00 Nick Hunt does drift way high. The 5 of Elwood, big run on the outside, trying to make the pass to take it 3 wide. The 5 of Elwood backs it down to avoid getting close to that wall. Holy cow.
Well, here comes the 76 of Cameron Hearn. He is going to look into the inside of Nick Hunt. He is going to complete that pass there. Right in front of Cameron Hearn is going to be the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. Oh, Nick Hunt gets a little loose coming out of the turn, gets into the grass, but he is going to keep it going straight and bring it back out onto the track.
Oh my God. The traffic behind him, 59 James Thorndike, almost gets to the back of him. That was some definitely straight A driving on the part of James Thorndike, and also 00 of Nick Hunt, especially Nick Hunt, for saving that, getting it corrected. Despite getting into the grass there, which has no traction whatsoever. Right now, Nick Hunt does try and get back up to speed to try and make up for lost time, but going back up front, that 76 Cameron Hearn in second place. The caution will fly. Gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved in that. Oh, we have the 4 Mike Rominger, heavy damage on the right side. 82 Mike Franklin sideways as well. The 2 of Richie Evans involved. Let's focus on the 82 of Mike Franklin on replay.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay, we are going to focus on the 82. Looks like he got a little loose, made contact with the 4 Rominger, and just everybody behind him had nowhere to go. The 00 Nick Hunt was also collected up in that. Ooh, that is heavy, heavy damage there, as it looks like the 82 of Mike Franklin is going to be towing down the pit road.
Holy cow, and Nick Hunt as well did hit him. He's T-boned him because he was on the track there, locking it down, trying to avoid rolling into oncoming traffic. The 00 Nick Hunt had nowhere to go, couldn't have enough time to react, and just smacked into him. And right now is on pit road, or is getting that machine towed down to pit road. Just hope he has a backup truck like everybody else out there. As right now the 39 of Zachary Crazer being shown 10 laps down in that 19th place position, but still going nice and strong regardless. And going back up front, we are being led by 97 on Nate Rito, 05 Tommy Amasi second, 76 of Cameron Hearn third, the 5 Alan J. Elwood fourth, and the 42 Jeffrey Creek in fifth place, as the whole entire field except for the top 2 drivers have pitted in. And that does give us some time to get a race interview in, so we are going to focus on the 05 of Tommy Amasi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the honor of speaking with the 05 of Tommy Amasi. Pierre, let's get a cup there, Tom.
I'm just staying out here. I'm going to pit this lap in.
Oh, 10-4, Tom. Well, Tom, you have been doing an amazing job out there of staying alive. At this point, it's a survival race for every single driver out there, trying their best to make sure the track doesn't take them out. How's the race going so far, buddy?
It's a handful. I can tell you that. It's a handful out here. We're I don't know what the balance is off on the car, what's going on.
Oh, 10-4, Tom. I can only imagine what you guys are going through out there. But how's the tire wear doing out there, buddy, regardless?
To be honest, the tire wear is really good. I don't have any issues on that. It's just I think the balance, I can't quite keep it coming out of the corners too straight.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, Tom, you have been doing an amazing job keeping it nice and strong, keeping it nice and straight, and keeping your car clean, keeping your nose clean. So we do wish you the best of luck, brother, and you know, the best out. Good luck to you, because man, that track out there is not the best like we've seen, like you've talked about as well. It is a handful. And a lot of drivers have said the exact same thing. We're going to let you back to the driver's seat so you can bring this thing home. So good luck to you, buddy.
Okay, good talk to you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was that 05 of Tommy Amasi, who is currently being shown in the 5th place position. And Dave, at this point, only one driver decides to stay out and does not pit in. That's the 97 of Nate Rito, the current race leader. So it's going to be quite the very interesting to see exactly what happens to him once we have this upcoming restart, because he will have 7 laps less, or 7 laps more on his tires compared to everybody else who pitted in.
Well, it may just be, Sean, it's part of pit strategy here. I mean, he must be thinking that everybody else is still going to have to be able to pit one more time to make it. So he's just kind of riding out there, and hopefully he's probably hoping on some green flag pit stops to come in, get fuel, while everybody else will have to pit.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot about that. Yeah, fuel strategy. Yeah, these guys do have different things in mind. So his strategy just might work out like we'd seen last week. We saw some drivers deciding to stay out during the last caution that we had, just so they can be able, well, not knowing that we didn't know that they had a strategy in mind to stay out so they can only be able to pit in one more time, or not pit in at all, so they can be able to make it, and it did end up benefiting them in the long run. But right now, we are now back 1 to green. 97 Nate Rito in the lead with the 76 of Cameron Hearn on his rear end. The 5 Alan J. L leading the outside with the help of the 42 of Jeffrey Creek. We are going to be going green this time by. And we do have some new drivers in the top 10. We have 99 Eric Canex being shown in 7th after starting the 19th place spot. 06 Rick Seabrand. I haven't spoken much of him, to an amazing driver as well. Starting 21st and is now in the 9th place spot. As the drivers do enter turns number 3 and 4, going green this time by, back to battling that racing surface while trying to battle for the race, specifically the top 5 drivers out there. Right now the pace car will be ducking off. Hard left off pit road. On pit road, the 97 Rito does not hesitate, puts it down. 76 Cameron Hearn gets a better start than the 5 of Alan J. Eld, who was caught sleeping in that 76 Cameron Hearn will challenge the 5 of Alan Elwood, who most likely will lose that spot. He entering turn 1, he does so. 76 of Cameron Hearn did get around him successfully. And behind them we have the 29 Matt Wilson getting around the 87 David Elliott and the 59 of James Thorndike as we speak.
Yeah, Mr. Speedway himself is on that inside lane there. As Thorndike just goes up a little and leaves a little room for the 87 there of Elliott also to take that position away. Is he is able to get back down in front of Canakes.
And further back in the pack, the 4 Mike Rominger right now trying to catch that 99. Eric Canakes, 06 Rick Seabrands, big run on ball. We have one driver in the grass. That is going to be the 97 Nate Trito. Oh, that's the 97 Nate Trito. It's like, I'm gonna go back and take a look who that might have been. Can't seem to find it there, but it was one. Oh, the 29 of Matthew Welsmark, who got very, very loose. Was in the grass of the exit of turn 2 and went from about 5th place or 7th place down to 13th place. There in 1 lap, and right now trying his best to gain all his speed back and make up as much time as he can, or make up for all the lost time, so he can be able to get back out there or get back into that top 10. We have one driver spinning out of the exit of turn 2, and the caution will fly. Oh, that's 06 Rick Seabrands involved in that. Let's see who else was involved. It looks like that was pretty much it. Let's go back and forth on the 06 of Rick Seabrands on replay.
Well, as we pull up our Dre broadcasting, we are going to focus on the 06 of Rick Seabrands here. As we find here exactly how he got loose here. Looks like coming into the turn, riding that high lane there. Coming out of the turn, he tries to bring it back down low here. He is going to just get loose on the exit and straight down into the grass and go into a helicopter mode. Looks like that motor is blown. That is highly unfortunate there.
Highly unfortunate indeed, and yeah, that's right, Dave. That contact between him and the wall was very, very big. It was huge, and just hope that he has a backup car so he can be able to get it out there and still be able to make up all the lost time. He most likely will be going 1 to 2 laps down because taking does take a while, and he will be able to get his laps back once he gets back out there. And right now, going back to the track, we have the 76 Cameron Hearn in the race lead, the 5 Alan J. Elwood second, the 42 of Jeffrey Creek third. The 3 drivers who decided to stay out, the top 3 drivers decided to stay out, everybody else going down pit road. And we have one driver getting the wave around the pace car, 00 Nick Hunt, back to 1 lap down. Looking at the race off pit road, looks like the 97 of Nate Trito was able to beat everybody off pit road. 87 of David Elliott came up right behind him. 59 James Thorndike, Mike Rominger, Eric Canakes, Rusty Farrow, Richie Evans, Tommy Amasi, Matthew Welsenbach, and Gary Woolbot. And that 39 of Zachary Crazer out there, still going nice and strong, being shown 10 laps and had some bad luck in the beginning of the race. Let's actually get a word in with these 39 of Zachary Crazer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the honor of speaking with the 39 of Zachary Crazer. Get a cup there, Zach.
Hey, what's going on?
Good, how are you, buddy?
I've had better days.
Absolutely, brother. I can only imagine. Yeah, we did notice the early incident you had early on in the race. I believe it was lap number 2. And ever since then, you were on pit road for a while, getting some service fixed, got your backup car out there once they were done. And you ended up going a couple of laps down due to it. How's the race going so far, buddy? Because, man, everybody seems to be struggling.
Yeah, it's pretty loose out there. Everyone's kind of just holding on to it. Really wish I was being a little bit more competitive, but everyone else seems to have a lot of issues.
Oh, 10-4, Zach. And Zach, how's the car feeling out there? Because, man, I mean, the track is at 98 degrees Fahrenheit, but we spoke to another driver early on. It was 05 of Tommy Amasi. He talked about how the tower is not that bad, but the car's still loose.
Yeah, coming out of 2, it's pretty loose. You gotta hold on to it. You gotta have good throttle control. 3 and 4 is a little bit better, but still gotta have that good combo of throttle control and steering.
Oh, copy that. And Zach, what lines do you think are working the best? Because we have noticed that the bottom lane is the one that some drivers are getting loose, but the middle lane maybe not as much.
I've been running the high lane the whole entire race, so it seems to be pretty all right up there. So it looks like middle or high lane's the best lane to go right now.
Oh, 10-4, Zach. Well, I just want to check in with you, and we do appreciate what you're doing out there, putting down some more laps despite you being a lot of laps down, trying your best to get the most points possible despite having this strict field out there, because these guys will stop at nothing. They will battle until it's over. I'll let you go, but any final words?
Just hopefully we can just finish this out green, and hopefully have a good finish at the end.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us up here, and good luck to you, buddy. We'll let you get the driver's seat.
Thank you, 10-4.
Well, Sean, we are 1 to green. We are going to go back green flag racing with 25 laps to go here at Chicagoland Speedway. The Drive for Safety 300 brought to you by the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series.
Yeah, as right now the drivers do enter turns number 3 and 4. Going to be going green this time. Once we cross start finish line, we're going to have 25 laps to go. As the pace car does dip off, the 76 Cameron Hearn still holding pace, but he puts the hammer down the floor, catches everybody off guard. The 5 Alan Elwood will have a chance to fall back in line. 42 Jeffrey Quick holding off the 97 Nitro to try and avoid him getting to that bottom lane. The 5 Trito does drift high, goes back down to that bottom lane, sets himself up for turns number 1 and 2. The 42 of Jeffrey Quick does better than 97 of Nate Trito for that 3rd place spot. And Dave, at this point, by the looks of it, these guys will be able to make it without having to go down pit road for another green flag, for another pit stop. So with that said, right now, these guys, it is going to be go time for them, because they're trying to get up there, so if anything were to happen, they can still be in the best spot possible.
Yeah, we also got to remember that 97 of Nate Trito is on fresher tires than everybody else here in the top 4. So we'll see if those tires will play any effect here, as he has just moved up into the 3rd position.
Yep, 97 Nate Trito right now behind the 5 Alan Elwood. 76 of Cameron Hearn does lose that race lead to actually all 3 drivers just got around him, so he does go from 1st place to 4th place in 1 lap. Around him does get around the 4. He is the 42 of Creek, 97 Trito, and the 5 of Elwood, new race leader, but nope, that 97 Nate Trito will take it away from him, or try to here, between turns number 1 and 2. Exiting turn 2, they have a drag race throughout the backstretch. Let's see who has it. The 5 of Alan Elwood still applying a lot of pressure. Big jump on the outside of the exit of turn 4. Momentum gained by the 97. Trito does go down to that bottom lane, the apron, which is the shortest way around the track, so he will lead this lap on lap number 93. The 5 of Elwood most likely is going to back it down to 4 in line. Nope, he's like, I'm going to take it back. It was my spot. I'm in the lead. I'm the leader here, and I'm trying to keep you behind me.
Yeah, they are staying door to door here through the backstretch. Nate Trito gets a good entry into turn number 3, but so does Elwood, as he is powering off of turn number 4. As these guys are still battling door to door, neither one of them wants to give it up.
That 5 of Alan Elwood does successfully make the pass around the 97 of Nate Trito, but Trito coming back with a big run while being pushed by the 42 of Jeffrey Crick, who in turn is being pushed by the 76 of Cameron Hearn. But these guys decide to go single file, as the 5 Alan Elwood right now, Dave, taking different race lines, just riding that outside line as everybody else behind him rides that bottom lane.
Well, I think what Elwood is trying to do is some tire conservation, running that higher line. We still have 20 laps to go here at Chicagoland. He is on older tires, he knows that, but he is just trying to save what tires he can here for the later stage of this run.
And look at that, Dave. 42 Jeffrey Crick looks to the inside of Trito while pulling the 76 of Cameron Hearn. The 97 Trito will have no choice but to stay high, though, stay side by side throughout the front stretch. 42 Crick does go down to that bottom, to that apron, which is the shortest way around the track once again, and tries to make up some time. against 97 Trito, who does still put in a hard fight to as he's not giving up. In second place spot by 42 of Creek does get loose entering turns number 1 and 2, and that does allow the 97 Trito to clear him again. As behind the scenes, Cameron Hunter as well did do the exact same thing. But we have a battle for the race between the 97 Trito and the 5 of Elwood. Drag race off turn for the 5 of Elwood. Big run, 97 Trito, bigger run as well. Goes down the apron. Let's see who had that. Oh my God, it was a tie for the lead, and the caution will fly. We're gonna go back take a look who might have been involved in that. Oh, 05 Tommy Amasi involved in that. Takes some serious air. 87 David Elliott involved in that as well. Let's focus on the 87 of David Elliott on replay.
Well, as we go back here to the replay, focusing on the 87 of David Elliott, as we see him get loose out of the turn, he goes through the grass, is unable to get back control of it, as he just gets back out on the track, and oh, the 05 of Tommy Amasi had nowhere to go and just clobbered him.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed, and that most likely will end the night of the 05 of Tommy Amasi, because he did end up on his lid, and he did end up using up his backup car earlier in tonight's race. Very, very unfortunate indeed, but going back up front, we are being led by the 5 Alan Elwood, 97 Nate Trito second, 42 Jeffrey Creek third, the 76 of Cameron Hearn fourth, and the 59 of James Thorndike in 5th place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our final commercial break for tonight's race here on lap number 98, so you guys can get your last round of popcorn and refreshment. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Drivers, start your reading. Motor Sim Racing Magazine is the first and only magazine dedicated to sim racing. Every month we'll be covering the hot topics around the world of sim racing. So if you're looking to be in the know, go to www.motorsimsracing.com. You will find articles from your favorite drivers, leagues, and other prominent people in the sim racing community. Want an update of your favorite league? We got it. Want to learn the basics on finding a perfect league for you? We got it. Want to know more about how leagues are run? We got it. So remember, when you want to know what's going on in the sim racing world, go to www.motorsimracing.com.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
One of the best. You got him for a brisk. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series here as we bring you the Drive for Safety 300. Continuing chase race 3, but right now, getting back to the race, we are going back to green, exiting turn 4, being with 29 of Welsenbach. Pace car goes off. Matt Welsenbach still holding pace speed. He does put it down. Big check up, some rear ending in the back. But the 29, Matt Welsenbach does put it down. 97 Patrol does see it coming. He's all over his rear view mirror, all over his back bumper, and looks to his inside, entering turn 1. And right behind them, the 5, Alan Elwood, pulling the 76 of Cameron Hearn, while he is overtaking the 42 of Jeffrey Creek on the outside.
Well, Sean, we got 13 laps to go. These drivers know it's coming down. It's do or die time. As the 29 of Walzelbach goes high, the 5 of Elwood is going to clear him, but 76 of Hearn is just not able to make the pass as Walzelbach drops down behind the 5 of Elwood.
And that's 76 of Cameron Hearn right now. Oh, he gets sideways, gets loose, and he was able to hang on to him in front of him. 5, Alan J. out gets us off the exit of turn 2. He is in the grass. He does wheel that sucker, and he will save it. And back on the track he goes. He has a lot of work to do. Man, that's very unfortunate for Alan.
Yeah, he's definitely ran strong all night. As we go back up front in the 97 of Nate Trito has already pulled out to a 1-second lead over the second place, the 29 of Matthew Walzelbach, as he is just checking out so far.
Yeah, and that mistake or that little error. Oh, they go 3 wide, 29 Matt Welsenbach, 42 Creek, and 76 Cameron Hearn back double wide. It does leave 76 of Jeffrey, 76 of Cameron Hearn and 42 of Creek side by side, but they do go back single file. 76 of Hearn was successfully able to clear both drivers, exiting turn 4. Like I was about to say, the 97 of Trudeau most likely is smiling right now because he doesn't have any pressure from anybody after the 5 Alan J. Elwood got loose there. So he does have a big lead because of it. 76 of Cameron Hearn and 42 Jeffrey Creek both get sideways off the exit of turn number 2. And going for the back, 29 Matt Welsenbach being challenged by the 2 of Richie Evans back in the top 5, starting 17th place, gets unsuccessful on the outside line. As behind him, he has the 4 of Mike Rominger on his review.
Well, Sean, 9 laps to go. These guys know. But the only problem is all these battles is letting Cameron Hearn and Jeffrey Creek pull away from them. Meanwhile, Nate Trito is still running about a 1.5 second gap over the second place of Hearn. So Trito is just kind of riding here. He is happy to see all these guys battling here in the back, as he is just actually... looks like Hearn and Creek are starting to pull him in a little bit.
And that 4 of Mike Rominger tries to shake off that 29 of Matthew Welsenbach and successfully clears him here, entering turns number 1 and 2. Holy cow, there was Nick Hunt on the inside of the 29 of Welsenbach. Gets around him on the exit of turn 2 with quite the run of a lifetime right there. 5 Alan J. Elwood right now, Dave, making some headway. Holy cow.
Yeah, most definitely here, and I mean, these guys know, but look here, look who's back in the mix here. That 5 of Alan Elwood back in 6th position, as he is looking to try to get up to that 4 of Mike Rominger and start working his way back up to the front with 7 laps to go.
And both the 5 of Elwood and the 0 of Nick Hunt do catch up to the 4 of Mike Rominger right now. Mike Rominger looking in his rearview mirror, but he does stay high to let the 5 Alan Elwood occupy his inside, and Alan Elwood will make the pass success, but at the same time he did leave the door open for the 0 of Nick Hunt to take it away. They'll be side by side to at the front stretch, and the 4 of Rominger with hammer down the floor. 0 Nick Hunt hammer down the floor as well. It's a drag race throughout here, but 0 Nick Hunt will lead a big nose here as he does clear him successfully, entering turn on as he did back it down. Oh, the 00 Nick Hunt gets loose of the exit of turn 2. The 4 of Roman does a crossover move because of it. And we had one driver get loose. That's a 42 of Jeffrey Creek off the track right now, getting back on the track, trying to get back up to speed. Holy cow.
Well, they're definitely giving it all, but that is going to put a little bit. Nate Trito is happy to see that, as that now puts him out to a 1.7 second gap over the second place of Cameron Hearn, and then who has right about almost a 2 second gap between him and the 5 of Alan Elwood, who has now worked his way back up into the top 3.
Oh man, that is very, very impressive on the part of the 5 of Alan Elwood. He was shuffled all the way back after making that little error there when he got sideways. Makes his way up into the top 3 here in no time, but that 2 of Richie Evans behind him, trying his best to hunt him down. He does have his draft, and that 2 of Richie Evans right now has upped his game. He does have some very, very high pace while pulling 00 of Nick Hunt with him, but he is very, very loose. But both drivers are very, very loose and do seem to be losing all that gain time, all the time they gain in the turns.
Well, Sean, it's go time. Next flag will end the race here, as we are now watching the 97 of Nate Trito come across. 3 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Looks like Nate Trito has actually extended his lead almost 2 seconds over the second place of Cameron Hearn.
And looking for the back in the pack, 00 Nick Hunt battling 2 of Richie Evans for the 4th place spot. 00 Nick Hunt giving it all he can. The 2 of Richie Evans as well giving it all he can to avoid losing that spot, but he has no choice but to back it down. Fall back in line as 00 Nick Hunt was successfully able to clear him on the exit of 4, and that does bump the 00 of Hunt up into 4th place while bumping down the 2 of Richie Evans into that 5th place spot. But look at that, Dave. Last time you had checked, you said he was about almost 2 seconds, 1.9 seconds behind. Well, the 97 Trito was 1.9 seconds ahead of the second place driver, but now he did narrow it down to about 1.8 seconds. So that 76 of Cameron Hearn has definitely put the hammer down the floor, or maybe found 5th gear, and is really countering the track. And we have one driver off the pace right now, 39, Zachary Kraser will stay low to let these guys go.
Yeah, it looks like the 97 of Nate Trito now is up over 3 second gap over the 5 of Alan Elwood, who was able to make his way back into the second position, but I don't think they have anything there for the 97 of Nate Trito, as he is now coming out of turn 4 here, going to the checkered flag. Looks like 97 Nate Trito is going to win the race.
Oh, he brings this thing home, and challenge right behind him is the 5 Alan J. Elwood, 76 Cameron Hearn 3rd. And also that gives 00 Nick Hunt 4th place, the 2 Richie Evans 5th, the 4 Mike Rominger 6th, 29 Matt Wells back 7th, 75 Rusty Farrow 8th, 42 of Jeffrey Creek 9th, and that 59 of James Thorndike will round up the top 10. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to interview the top 3 drivers. 97 Nate Trito, defending champion, the 5 Alan J. Elwood, new season standing, new leader here in the standings, and 76 of Cameron Hearn as well in the 3rd place position. So stay tuned. As right now we do focus on 97 Trito, who does burn it down.
It's reverse.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our top 3 drivers up here with us. The 97 Nate Trito, the 5 Alan J. Elwood, and the 76 of Cameron Hearn. And the 97 Nate Trito, you having back-to-back wins after bringing it home last week at Texas Speedway under the same race conditions, under the same loose track. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh man, that was insane. I gotta thank Matt for that last restart, helping me out just a little bit. Getting a good jump and I hated to turn on him like that, but I had to go. But BFS Ford Mustang felt great all night, and just found the little bit of speed that we needed later on, and it's just cool. It was a great race by everybody. Elwood and Hearn and Creek, they were definitely faster than me at the beginning of the race. We definitely evened out towards the end, but they had the they were going in the right direction at the beginning. So good race to them, and it was a lot of fun tonight.
Oh, 10-4, Nate. And yeah, Nate, you did have a lot of stiff competition around you. And how were you able to keep Alan Elwood, Cameron Hearn, Nick Hunt, Jeffrey Creek? How were you able to keep all those drivers behind you? Because, man, they were not giving up for anything.
Well, on that restart, I had Matt help me out, and Elwood was right behind me, and I guess he just got loose out of 2 and, opened up a big gap for me. And just from there, I kind of just set the cruise control, just, tried to drive smart.
Oh, copy that, Nate. And Nate, want to congratulate you on winning tonight's race here, starting the 4th place spot, and also winning last week's race at Texas Speedway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300. And next week, we are going to be at Auto Club Speedway for the TreatMyClot.com 300. What should we expect from you at Auto Club next week, buddy?
Just another try and be solid again. Top 5s is what we're looking for. That's the goal. Try and compete for this championship.
Copy that, brother. We'll do you the best of luck, Nate, as you are the defending champion, trying to win 2 championships in a row, as you have been an amazing driver throughout, despite all the stiff competition around you. Before I let you go, but any final words?
Thanks to Extreme for putting on all these races, you guys for the broadcasts, and Barricade Flash Service for hopping on board.
Congratulations, Nate, and see you again next week at Auto Club. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you.
That was tonight's race winner, also last week's winner, Texas, the 97 Nate Rito, defending champion, but right behind him, the 5 Alan J. Elwood taking over the points lead, starting tonight's race here at Chicagoland. Get a cup there, Alan.
Yeah, I got you.
Anytime, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just not happy.
Oh, I can only imagine. But Alan, you lost it. After the last restart, during the first couple of laps there, you did end up losing it, went way below the top 5, and you were able to go all the way from back into the top 2. How the heck was that possible?
Just driving mad. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Oh, 10-4. And Alan, what was your strategy throughout the entire race that kept you alive?
Yeah, just running a good, clean race, running some good lap times. Thought we had a pretty good chance there at the end, as we have many races this season, and lo and behold, circumstances just don't work in my favor. So just have to go next week and see if we can get it done for once.
Oh, copy that, buddy. And speaking of next week, how much experience do you have at Auto Club? So what should we expect from you, buddy?
Auto Club can be a crapshoot with these slower cars, so just kind of, especially on the first couple laps, play your draft right and see, after that where you're landing. But pretty quick there, so hoping for another top 5. That's pretty much all I'm going for right now. Second place is not a win, but only giving up a couple points to Nate. I'll take that considering the circumstances. So we'll just try and see what we can next week.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. And yeah, speaking of you and the 97 Nate Rito, starting tonight's race, you were leading, and you were separated by 1 car in between you guys, and that was the 4 of Mike Rominger. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what happens. But you guys are not too far off each other, because you finished 1st and 2nd. So we're very excited to find that out. Before I let you go, but any final words?
Yeah, I'm just proud of everybody on the team tonight. Richie and Mike didn't quite have the best of luck, but snuck their way up in the top 10, so glad to see that. Cameron and John were scramblingly fast. One of us deserved to win, I thought, but like I said, just wasn't meant to be. But thanks to those guys and you guys here for putting on the broadcast and Extreme for the race.
Well, once again, buddy, congratulations on your 2nd place finish tonight, and also taking over the points lead as before this race began. And we do look forward to seeing you again next week at Auto Club. So we're gonna let you get back out there so you can go and just pretty much stretch and get your thoughts back together for dirt tracking all night long. Good night, buddy, and see you again next week.
Thanks, Sean. Have a good one.
That was the 5, Alan J. Elwood, but right behind him, running up the top 3, the podium finishes 76. Cameron Hearn. I haven't spoken any of him throughout the whole entire season. This is the first time I'm seeing Cameron Hearn out here, and tonight we did speak a lot of him because he was all over those leaders. Got a cup there, Cameron?
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that race is over with. It felt like you were racing on ice.
10-4, Cameron. Well, Cameron, you did put on an amazing show. You had a lot of stiff competition around you, but it didn't keep you from putting your hammer down to the floor and trying your best to keep control of it and just pretty much trying your best to stay alive. How's your race experience tonight, buddy?
Yeah, it was track position is pretty key. I mean, the track as loose as it was real tough. Passing somebody on the inside, the last restart, somebody took 2 tires, and Nate was able to get through, and all night, me, Nate, Alan, and Jeff, we were real close on speed and stuff. So once he got out there, I was kind of overdriving the car, and you really can't do that, on a loose racetrack like it was. So I almost lost it a couple times trying to run him down. But end of the day, first race in a few months, bringing it home clean, and, no contact with anybody or the wall. I'll take a top 3 any day.
10-4, Cameron. Well, once again, I want to congratulate you on your top 3 finish tonight. And next week, you guys will be transferring to Auto Club, a track that is flat, a little bit flatter, and might not be as stiff to drive. Won't be too much ice compared to this one here, but we hope so. But what should we expect from you at Auto Club, buddy?
Auto Club, it's one of those tracks, the first few laps, everybody's at the same speed. I think saving your tires will be key in that race, so the guy who can manage his tires and be consistent every lap, not necessarily the fastest guy, somebody who can be consistent on time and save his tires. I think that's gonna be the guy that has the best chance of winning the race. But I'm looking for a top 5 finish, and build on to this end of this year, on the next year.
Copy that, brother. Copy that. Well, once again, I want to congratulate you on your top 3 finish tonight. We look forward to seeing you in the top 5 like you wish next week at Auto Club Speedway. Before I let you go, but any final words?
Yeah, I just want to thank Extreme, for every week, them putting on an awesome show. You guys with the broadcast, appreciate everything. Alan, Richie, Mike, and Jeff, it's always fun racing with those guys. And congratulate Nate on the win. It was a tough race. All 4 of us in the whole race battling. It's nice to see that get to finish on the green and some good close racing.
I want to congratulate you once again on your podium finish here in 3rd place, and look forward to seeing you again next week at Auto Club. Have a good night, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a 76 of Cameron Hearn, finishing in 3rd place position, having 3 threes across the board. 3rd in practice, 3rd in qualifying, and 3rd at the end of the race. And that does round up the podium interviews among the 97 A3 Toe, Alan J. Elwood, and Cameron Hearn. Well, Dave, I am speechless. Just as speechless as those drivers were out there. I feel as though I was dirt tracking with these guys, just watching them save it. I was speechless all night long. My heart just kept skipping beats because of it, and just pretty much how stiff the competition was out there, despite them trying to survive. What was the highlight from tonight, Dave?
Just all the hard battling, especially them top 3 guys. They were battling it out all night. They were switching positions. Definitely a great job, even though as they said, they felt like they were driving on ice. But they definitely did a good job at keeping control of their cars.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us here for the Drive for Safety 300 as chase race number 3. But next week, we are going to be having chase race number 4 at Auto Club Speedway, entitled TreatMyClot.com 300 by Jansen. And once again, that is TreatMyClot.com 300, sponsored by Jansen. And the next broadcast will be on Saturday night with the Cyber Racing Association Acrylic Art Super Truck Series for their chase race number 2 at Daytona International Speedway. So we do look forward to having an amazing race there, as it is wide open trucking with those guys there. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Evel behind the cameras, and have a good night. Thanks for watching.